And I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you be watching this transmission. Welcome to episode 483 of Mike in the Night. Oh, yeah, it is 3 a.m., and something is moving you. Thank you all for coming and being part of this transmission here on our pre show here on YouTube. And then we got the after party for Mike in the Night on Odyssey. So I really hope to see all you there, all you guys there. And the comments are rocking and rolling. We've been getting a bit of errors here on the YouTube side. Not sure why. I hope they figure out their problems, because we're trying to figure out our problems and the problems that have been brought upon us. And we're living in an absolute nightmare, disastrous BS, no accountability by governments, and yeah. And I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night. It is Mike in the Night. Sorry, guys, I don't really have any intro music here, guys, unfortunately, because, we just can't play any music on here. So the after party is going to be on Odyssey, where we could speak freely. And everyone's starting to tune in. The comments are moving nicely here. All right. We got people in the house from Australia, New Zealand, one from London here, Ireland, and just kind of scanning through the comments here while you guys are tuning in. All right, guys, I turned off the super chat. If you guys want to donate, I'll tell you how to donate. Don't bother with the super chat. Google's basically taking everything I make on this platform, so there's no point in that. Okay, guys, I got the live stream up that we're going to be transferring to in 48 minutes. There it is right there. And woo! I'm just going to comment on there and let people know that I did put a link in there that we are live here on YouTube on the pre-show. I'm going to leave a link in the comments for tonight's show. Don't forget to join us for Mike in the Night. Oh, yeah. And don't forget to check out artbydano.com, artbydano.net, not your typical art. Fakeologist. Don't forget to check them out. Fakeologist, and go over to Fakotube. Don't forget to check that out. And what else we got here? There's Fakotube right there. And kiwiradio.nz. Don't forget to check that out. And Mike in the Night. Don't forget to check us out on Rumble. I'm going to give you guys a link to the Rumble. If you guys want to come on Rumble, you're more than welcome. We put our replays on there. And I might do a midweek show on Mike in the Night on Rumble, just to see if we could get streaming on Rumble, because we got pretty much booted off Rumble. I don't know why. I was paying a membership to stream, and they just kicked us off. So we're not welcome anywhere. So anyways, guys, keep the lights on for Mike in the Night. If you want to donate, guys, go here. There's one more friend I want to plug here, but I don't have the link open right now. Damn, I got to have these things ready here for you guys. Unfortunately, sometimes there's just so many things on the go at the same time. It makes it almost impossible to have everything ready to go. It's just absolutely... Okay, here's the link. I got a link for you guys here. If you guys want to check out Legalese, I'm actually going to be using it when I'm done with you guys. I'll show you guys what it is. I'm going to show when I'm done with the show with you guys. I'm actually going to go here and get this straightened out, because I got some legal. I keep trying to get sued by everybody's trying to sue me. So there it is, Legalese right there. And if you guys want to check it out, there's the link right there. So what you do is it's free. You type in all your legal crap that you get in the mail or whatever. You put it all in. You put it in the system, and it tells you what it's saying. Because half of the stuff I get from the government, or someone's trying to sue me or whatever, I don't know what the hell the thing's saying. So I put it through here, and it fixes for me. There's the link right there, guys, if you guys want to check it out. And I've been using it a lot lately, and I think we're all going to be using things like this a lot of tools to save us or help us. So there it is right there. Everything's flowing nicely here on Mike in the Night. And let's get into some headlines here for you guys before we switch over to our next show here on Mike in the Night. All right, guys, so let's kick it off here. China It's considering sending weapons to Russia, says NATO's top general. So there it is right there. China's only friend on the block for now is Russia. And Russia's got its allies too, but some Russian allies aren't allies with China. And it's a back and forth, side picking or picking sides. And that's why the chess pieces are moving on the board. And we're figuring out, we're playing remember we talked about this 4D chess on multiple layers, trying to figure out who is what, who is threatening who is lying to who is fooling who. And this is what it's been all about, is this. And this is we're working up to this climax here. This is the climax that we are working towards. This is what they're working towards. I don't want to go to war. I don't want innocent people dying because all these top-notch or top brass are losing. They're losing. What's happening here, folks? It's very simple. They are losing. The narrative is falling apart. Completely. The narrative is completely crumbling. No confidence in government and accountability on the table. This is massive, okay? This is how massive this is. Now, they'd rather send us to war and go have everybody rip each other apart as opposed to taking accountability and start reparations for damages and stuff, but they don't want to. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to go in the history books as being accountable. But all these people are accountable. They know they are. So what are they going to do? Stop people from, and that's what I've been saying to people, digital book burning. If you get a typewriter, start actually writing out these memoirs or drafting out a memo or start drafting out things on a typewriter, pen and paper. Stop relying on this digital crap. Stop relying on this digital crap to save your stuff because it'll be gone in a heartbeat, right? All they have to do is press a button and whatever you have saved where, right? Just like the TiVo. Remember TiVo? I don't know if you guys remember that conspiracy show with Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura did a conspiracy theory show, and it was really good, really well made, it was incredible. So what happened was there was a couple of episodes on there that they deemed as dangerous, so they went on everyone's TiVo or external hard drive or whatever that was recording the shows, went on there and erased everybody's hardware off their own hardware. So this is what we got to be. This is what we have to be ready for. Pen and paper. Okay? Write everything down. Your testimonies, your whatever, write it down. Don't depend on electronics. All right. We got people joining us here in the comment section before we switch over to Odyssey. Mike, can we go on with the news, bro? Yes, sir. I guess people are here for some news. All right, let's go over some headlines. So there it is right there. Now, if I want to break something down, let me break it down here. China is considering sending weapons to Russia, says a NATO's top general. And we have not seen any deadly arms shipments from China to Russia. That means they have. So when they tell you they don't, that means they are. So keep an eye out, folks. Doctors endorse idea of suicide through organ donation. So this is just on the wire right now. It was just posted about an hour ago. A recent biotech paper raises some age-old arguments about an issue that strikes at the heart of ethical organ donation. So organ donation can be used life-saving. So the dead on donor rule, we know that. And so basically, as summarized in Psychology Today, Anderson argues that healthy people who wish to donate an essential organ, a heart, for example, to save the lives of others, should be allowed to do so at the cost of their own lives. Wow. You can't make this stuff. So Psychology Today, let's check this out. So here it is, Psychology Today. And they're basically telling people you should be able to give your heart away literally. So obviously they're bringing this up because we know why they're bringing this up, because of the you-know-what is creating heart problems that we can't talk about on here because we're not Russell Brand. So, all right, let's move over to here. Now this is really good, guys. This is, we've been backing this now for many years, and you can find the article on Natural News by Lance D. Johnston. Study: green tea, black tea, and matcha tea found to suppress dioxin toxicity. So there it is, and it's it's the age-old medicine. That's what works from the ground. The Department of Transportation does not take hazardous materials seriously when trains are derailed if the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, does not make it a priority to protect communities from carcinogens like dioxins, and then it's up to the people to protect their bodies from the negligence of a government and industry. So there it is. Scientific literature provides evidence, right? And over heavily exposed area, don't forget, guys, drink your green tea. Man, I mean, like, sometimes I go on green tea binges myself. I really do go on green tea binges, where I would drink like 11 cups of green tea in one day in the summer. And sometimes I go off it for a bit, then I come back on it for a while. It's an acquired taste, right? All right. Oh, wow. Everyone's coming into the comments. Wow, we got over 90 people watching here tonight. Thank you so much. So there it is. Green tea and matcha. Is that matcha? Yeah, matcha tea found to suppress dioxin toxicity. So after what's happening right now in East Palestine there in Ohio. And it's affecting, I think, 85 to 150 mile radius of people are starting to notice just weird things in the environment. So we'll get to that soon here. And father of Cambodian girl who died from bird flu tests positive for virus. So we'll keep our finger on the pulse. There's always going to be something, and they're always going to be scaring us with this. So the father of an 11-year-old Cambodian girl who died this week from bird flu had tested positive for the virus, health officials said on Friday. The girl fell ill February 16th with a fever, cough, and sore throat, and died on Wednesday from bird flu virus H5N1, the Cambodian Health Ministry said in the statement. So they always bring this around every couple of years. The swine flu surfaces every couple of years. They got to keep it in rotation, right? They got to keep this in rotation. They don't want it to get old. They want to keep it like on your mind all the time, right? Like Hillary Lucifer Clinton, if you guys remember her, she's always surfacing every couple of months just to keep it, just so people could stay on. Hillary could stay on people's minds, right? And one of her good friends died the other day in Manhattan for a self-inflicted gunshot wound. I don't know if you guys heard that. So a self-inflicted gunshot wound, one of Hillary Clinton's big supporters and friend, and Bill Clinton's supporters and friend there. All right, what is this? Okay, so massive rallies held against Israel. Prime Minister's legal reforms for 8 straight weeks. This is the 8th straight week we are mentioning this on Mike in the Night. 8 weeks in a row, we've been covering this protests in Israel they're calling him the Crime Minister Netanyahu. The people in Israel do not want nothing. No representation from Netanyahu. Nobody voted for him, but he still got in. Just like Macron, Trudeau, Biden, all those people got in, but nobody voted for them. So there it is right there. Let's take it. Oh, wow, this is fresh footage, guys. We didn't have this last week. We had other footage last week, and this looks pretty big, folks. So Israel is standing up against Netanyahu, there it is, Crime Minister. That's been floating around social media, but unfortunately a lot of social media does not want to share this for some reason, or don't want to talk about the uprising of no confidence in government, right? So there's no confidence in government, and they're in their eighth straight week of protesting, and we've been covering it on Mike in the Night, back and forth, nonstop, to kind of create the awareness that people have had enough of this standing government, right? And there it is right there. And you won't find this on any other media stream, unfortunately. And unfortunately, there's no confidence in government anywhere. So I don't care where you go. Nobody trusts their governments anymore. And it reminds me of that video I did for you guys a few days ago. I don't trust the hospital. I'm scared. I am actually scared. I am actually terrified to go into a hospital right now. I'm actually so scared that if something happens to me and I need to go to a hospital, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I would do. Take my chances and risk it? Because that's where it's coming to, right? All right. U.S. court demands release report on toxicity of fluoride. So the U.S., the governments, and we're talking about counties, regions, whatever you want to call them, all over America they're getting bombarded with legal notices and toxicity with fluoride in the water, right? And they've been putting fluoride in water for ages. It's a byproduct of alumini, right? It's garbage. It just destroys you. And I went to a doctor myself, and they told me that I should be brushing my children's teeth with fluoride in it because there's no fluoride in our water because we got groundwater, but it's a river that flows through here, an aquifer here in Merritt. But they're like, there's no fluoride in it, so we suggest that you quadruple the fluoride toothpaste for your children. And I'm like, I don't think so. So there's a lot of places that are combating against the fluoride because fluoride is just poison in the water. So there it is. After numerous delays, the interventions by Assist Health Secretary, the U.S. National Toxicology Program reviews for fluoride's toxicity will soon be released to the public. The move is the latest development in nearly a decade-long battle between the Fluoride Action Network, Food and Water Watch, Organic Consumers Association, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. So they are working towards this. We all know what the deal is with this, but there's still people that just wholeheartedly believe in what they see on CNN. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go, folks. And with this other protest today, anti-war protest in London demand West stop arming Ukraine. So again, another thing that you won't see on the... Let's see if I could take the volume here down. Another thing you won't see on mainstream media is disarming the war against the Ukraine. And people are showing up for it all over the place. And people are tired of this war. People are tired. People are stressed. People don't need this in their lives. We don't need to go to war. Just let every country live let every country be on its own. They want to create this globalism. Globalism is garbage. Just let people be themselves. Let cultures be their culture. Let people pray to who they want to pray. Just leave the people alone, man. So there it is right there. And that's coming out of London today. And I'll be replaying some of this on Mike in the Night when we go full blast tonight, baby. And what do we got here? Yemeni stage rallies in support of Palestinians, and then another protest that's not being shown, right? So there's a lot of countries out there. Barack Hussein Obama started a major conflict in Yemen, and the Yemenis people were winning that war against Saudi Arabia, and yeah, it's just a nonstop problem. It's a nonstop conflicts. All right. So they create conflicts here, and then they import people of zones of pain into Western countries to make their lives even more miserable. Like, it's crazy. So out of Toronto, we got news report names candidate CSIS claims he got help from China. Again, we live in Canada, and there it is right there. These candidates, they're all bought and paid for by other countries. And let me see when we brought up Canada on our channel. I checked our channel time machine, but I've said it many times. Apparently here we said it 3 years ago. Oh, Sheena Da, housing economic takeover, rest in peace. So China won. There's the cover of Time magazine. We covered that 3 years ago. Kind of weird. I could have sworn I said that a billion times on the channel, but I don't know. Mandela effect, right? Yep. So we got KCCPAC and the KPAC in the house saying, don't worry about going to the hospital, Mike. You won't have such a problem. No hospital can be attended because the small town hospitals will be shutting down one by one and only major cities will have them. Yes, my hospital, and I could confirm with that, my hospital locally is only open 2 days a week, I think, or 3 days a week. It's never open. And then the amount of car crashes on these mountains, these mountain passes, and people losing their lives on these mountain passes is absolutely horrendous. And without having a hospital care in the area, it's beyond anything. Wow, we got over 100 people watching Mike in the Night tonight. This is episode 483 of Mike in the Night. So, we got everyone joining us in the comments. We got Righteous Daughter in the house. We got Lord Humongous in the house. We got Dr. Mysterio in the house. We got Larry Raymond in the house. Scratch My Arse in the house. We got KCC Pack in the house. Anna Key. And in the house. Everybody joining us from all over the Commonwealth. All right, let's close that. I don't want to see that guy's face. Explosion at Ohio metal factory kills 1, injures 13. So there it is right there. And this is Kevin Hudges reporting this from Natural News. And an explosion at a metal manufacturing plant in Bedford, Ohio on February 20. On February 20, killed 1 person and injured 13 others. Footage shows firefighters trying to extinguish a blaze at the Schumann and Company metal plant that makes copper, bronze, and brass alloys, according to local media. An explosion at the plant during the afternoon of February 20 produced soaring pillar of smoke and set fire engines rushing from across the Buckeye State. So there it is right there, folks. More and more sabotage. Too bad I can't play music here on YouTube. I'll be playing Sabotage by Beastie Boys right about now. Oh, yeah. So comments are actually lighting up tonight here. Guys, I'm going to give you guys the link. Let's go over to check who is there. So this is where we're going to go live after our pre-show here to Mike in the Night on Odyssey. I'm going to copy this link here for you folks, and I'm going to paste it on here. And if you guys want to come later to this show, I would read. Guys, the super chat's turned off. You could donate to me on Donor Box. I don't get any of the income that you guys send me, so I'm just going to go with Donor Box if you guys want to support me. All right, where the heck were we? Okay, I think we were here. We're here. Now, if you thought that was bad, Y12 uranium processing facility in Tennessee catches fire, 200 employees evacuated. So there it is there. This is Bella Carter reporting this for Natural News. And a fire broke out on Wednesday, February 22nd at the Y12 National Security Complex uranium processing facility in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. All 200 employees were immediately evacuated from the site. Like, the last thing you need on your plate is a radio. And again, this is all tampered. This is all sabotage, right? According to, like, these are one of the most secured facilities on the planet. A uranium processing facility is by far, in my opinion, one of the most secured places, more secured than any prison. And it's catching fire? Like, why didn't we hear about this before? Why wasn't this a problem a couple of years ago? Now, why is this all becoming a problem today? So there it is. According to Stephen Watts, spokesperson for National Nuclear Security, the blaze that started at 9:15 a.m. in a production building 9212 was limited to the site itself and was contained shortly. So why is this happening? Why? Again, they want to break it down. They want to destroy the infrastructure. All right, let's fly over to here. Snowfalls in Los Angeles area, thousands still without power. So I got what's his name? Tony DiFangulo here, who's just outside of LA, just northeast of LA County, who's actually on backup battery watching Mike in the Night here. That's Tony DiFangulo. It's a longtime follower here on the channel. He's saying he's still watching Mike in the Night on backup power where he is in California. Apparently there's patches and areas of patches where there's power, and then there's huge swaths of power, and then there's no power in some patches, and then there's some power here. He's telling me it's like a weird grid breakdown. So thousands still without power. A powerful winter storm has swept the west coast with flooding of frigid temperatures that shifted to southern California, swelling rivers and dangerous levels, and dropping snow in even low-lying areas around Los Angeles. So there it is, folks. That is what's happening in just outside of LA County there, or in LA County. So if you guys want to get technical here tonight on Mike of the Night, let's spare a thought for those people living in Canada. And this is something we've been warning you guys on the channel for over 10 years. Canadian real estate price correction to be one of the largest in the world. So we've been warning you. This is Better Dwelling here reporting this. And Better Dwelling's been on base, been on par, been on everything when it comes to real estate in Canada. So check them out. And things are about to get worse for Canadian real estate according to credit rating. And we've been warning people, again, like a broken record on here, that this tsunami, that we call it a tsunami, we call it economic war, we call it an economic takeover, money laundering, you know. Yeah, let's just type in tsunami on the channel. There we go. Here it is. Just type in tsunami on our channel. You'll see it. Major. This will affect everyone. Major economic tsunami to hit on all fronts. Great Canadian economic housing tsunami to affect everyone. Chinese housing wave tsunami has hit Toronto and Seattle as Vancouver implements foreign buyer's tax 6 years ago. We've been warning you guys. Fake news tsunami ready to misinform the masses. The media watchdog is asleep. Wow. It's kind of cool when you actually type in like weird names or weird stuff on the channel, and you could find what we were talking about here for the longest time here, warning people about this up and coming problem. And yeah. All right, who else is commenting here? We got Tim Russell in the house. Good to see you. Sharon Holloway in the house. Yes, harp is missing. Harp is missing. Sorry, I should have brought that up. I did bring up Jesse Ventura earlier. Should have brought up the harp episode and how it's manipulating weather. All right, let's head over to Europe. So there it is right there. What is happening? Well, nearly 1 million asylum seekers register in the EU in 2022. The latest asylum application data demonstrates how the EU is falling to protect its borders. So there it is right there. Nearly 1 million migrants registered for asylum in Europe in 2022, which is the largest number recorded since 2016. The figures were all released Wednesday, highlight Europe's growing inability to protect its external borders. So there it is right there. And this is the transformation that the world economic losers want to do, and kind of create a melting pot and not letting countries be themselves, not letting culture be itself, not letting people speak their language, not letting people be them, letting people be themselves. And that's what it boils down to in the end. Changing what we think, monetizing what we think, destroying our families at the core. That's what they want. Right? They destroy the third world and ravage them with wars, and then bring them over here, right? Like us. I'm a Portuguese, and when the Portuguese when they took down our empire, we had oil-rich countries. We had everything. And it wasn't what the media was portraying. Oh, the Portuguese are at it again, destroying human rights violations. That's all bullshit. Portugal had a gold-backed currency, and they needed the empire to fall in the 1970s. So what do? They started the bullshit, like they did with Syria, Libya, all these other countries, right? They did it to the Portuguese in the 70s. And I'm one of those people that I should have been born in, was it Mozambique or Angola? Because we had a good going down there. We had it really good down there. And we had to come to Canada because we didn't have much of a choice. Because we were sanctioned to death in Portugal for having a gold-backed currency. So somebody's saying it's all about having a motorhome so you could drive away from the poison clouds. So I'm just reading your comments here. So, all right, let's move on to Europe still. We got some here. Okay, this is a big one, guys. Watch this. Pay attention, man. Poland prepares massive purchase of 1,000 infantry fighting vehicles to replace the Soviets' BMPs. So there it is. I'm telling you guys, these chess pieces are moving without you knowing it. Your opponent's making moves and you don't even know it. You don't even see it happening. Yeah, so here it is. So Sharon is saying Australia is bringing in 10,000 Afghans here as asylum seekers, yet our housing crisis is affecting women to homelessness. So if Afghanistan wasn't destabilized and destroyed and went to war and all this crap, they wouldn't need to have asylum. You see where I'm going with this, folks? So if Cuba didn't invade Angola, I would probably be living my life in probably a nightclub owner or something in Portuguese Africa. I wouldn't have to come to an English colony. Do you see where I'm going with this, folks? So if they stop terrorizing these foreign countries so they can loot their resources and let them have a chance to make something of it, then maybe, you know, I don't know, man. So we got, let me just take a sip of water here, folks. Got my lemon water here, folks, tonight. So there it is. And Ukraine war 1 year on, China's neighbors intensify regional arms race. So everybody around China is going to be building up because nobody trusts China. After rising steadily for decades, defense spending in Asia is surging, fueled by Russia-Ukraine conflict, researchers say. Chinese paper argues the U.S. is driving the trend by using Ukrainian crisis to strengthen its Indo-Pacific alliances against China. And there it is right there. The Ukraine war has fueled the already intensive arms race around China over the past year. Then it goes on to say here, where was it? China's military expenditure is the second largest in the world. Keep that in mind, folks. Right? With years of a double-digit growth, the country's 2022 defense budget was 1.45 trillion yuan. So there it is, 229.6 billion. 229.6 billion. 7.1% higher than the previous year. There it is. And let's jump over into Europe again. Crime jumps in Germany, most populist state. Non-Germans vastly overrepresented in serious offenses like murder and rape. So this is actually a pretty big deal on what's happening in Germany. We covered these small towns and big cities where they're seeing that non-Germans account for 48.1% of serious rape cases. So again, the migrants are basically pillaging and destroying countries in Europe. And again, maybe they see it as payback for what the West did in their countries too. You know, they could see it as that. But innocent people, I mean, politicians make war too, that's for sure. Is Poland buying new tanks from China? I don't know. Let's go back and check. If you want to know that, I can look for you guys. Hold on. Is Poland buying new tanks from China? I don't know. I know Poland is buying tanks. Let's go back here. Here it is. Let's see where they're buying them from. Polish army is to sign a contract purchase of 1,000 Borsuk amphibious, I can't read, fighting vehicles according to radio. The agreement between the Ministry of National Defense companies next week. It's not telling us the Borsuk of Polish. The Badger is an infantry fighting vehicle developed by Polish engineers. Several units are undergoing final tests in the Polish army. So it's not telling us where they're buying it from. It could be made locally, right? In-house made, or they're contracting somebody. So Poland prepares massive purchase of 1,000. Okay, so who it is? Who are they buying from? Yeah, I'm not seeing it here, folks. Maybe somebody could tell me in the comments if they know. I'm not seeing it here because I am blind. It's telling us how it works and how it helps militarily. That's a pretty small caliber in the front there, don't you think, guys? Like right there. Right there. That's I don't know. I don't know tanks, so I'm usually like used to seeing these huge, you know, huge calibers, like huge, enormous, right? Like 3, 4, 5, 6 inches wide. That's pretty small there. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Biden's making electric tanks, right? Woo! Okay, we got 15 minutes, guys. Let me give you guys the link here to the Mic of the Night. We're going to go live later. We got 29 people waiting on the other side. Okay, boom. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go here. There's people waiting. Germany has fallen. Woo! So I'm just commenting here on the Mic of the Night where we are allowed to speak freely on Odyssey. Mind you, folks, you guys need to understand that we are shadow banned. We are also shadow banned on Odyssey. So I don't mind being shadow banned. At least we can speak freely. And then basically we bring the party over. I'm going to reread a few of these headlines, just the headlines, folks. I'm not going to go crazy. And then we're going to get into... here, let's read this one here real quick for people watching from Canada here. And... oh, did they close my... Oh, damn. I don't know where it went. There's... Oh, okay, it's the wrong one. I'm sorry, folks. Here it is. So... Here's Trudeau today, standing up for Ukrainians.
Ukrainians woke up to the horror of war in their... Hey, sir, I think Ukrainians can tell you a little bit about freedom and liberty, so why don't you settle down? This is a night for them, not for you.
And what the fuck are you doing on TV anyhow?
All right, so there it is right there. I just have to break out the Joe Pesci there every time I see that guy's face. Too bad he doesn't stand up for Canadians. Or Canadians' well-being, or war vets. Never trust the eyes you can't see in the comments. So there it is right there. So let's play this again. Like, I gotta.
A year ago today, Ukrainians woke up to the horror of war in their... Hey, sir, I think Ukrainians can tell you a little bit about freedom and liberty, so why don't you settle down?
And what the fuck are you doing on TV anyhow?
See, I can tell you a lot of Canadians that can tell you about freedom and liberty in this country. They're taxing us to death. They're going to take everything we own. I already told you guys, in a couple of years, I will be homeless. And I'm not bringing this up to try and get you guys to feel sorry for me or send me a donation. In a couple of years, I will end up homeless. My kids finish high school. Let's say my kids finish high school. What are they going to do? The housing's out of reach. There's no way of obtaining a basic lifestyle here in Canada. They've taken everything away from us here in Canada. We don't have any more freedoms. Freedom is not just the freedom of expression, the freedom of assembly, and the freedom to protest. Freedom is to work and live in your own country and freely buy a house to raise your family and live your life in the country you were educated in, raised in, and the country you built. We can't even do that anymore in Canada. They took housing off the table back in 2014. So they took that right off the table for us, right? Yeah, here in Alberta, we don't tolerate the Ukraine BS. I had a guy come in my store. Right, so this is the problem with being a private citizen. I own my little store. I sell my toys. I do my board games. I do my thing. And I keep to myself here in town. I really don't. I have a few friends. Keep in touch with the few friends that I do have here. I had one guy come in my store and just rip me apart about how many children died in the Ukraine and that I need to be locked up. The guy was yelling at me so loud and yelling at me in my store, basically yelling at me because I was spreading misinformation and all these children are dying in the Ukraine and I am spreading misinformation. And the guy was screaming so loud that he was like spitting in my face. And that's the problem, you know, with trying to be on social media and trying to be, you know, getting the word out. So you got to remember, guys, who we are here, who Mike in the Night and who I am. We are pre-COVID. We are a pre-COVID channel. We've been warning people on this channel 10 years before this whole thing happened. We're a pre-COVID channel. We've been warning about people to stock food, to organize, to prep. We got videos going back 7, 8, 9 years, right? Look at me exploring the streets of Vancouver for you guys. Look, 6 years ago, Vancouver, quiet streets, no one around, no one out. See, sunny weather, not even a dog or a cat, or no one outside barbecue. Because a lot of foreign investors from China came in and bought Canadian real estate because our economies depended on real estate selling to foreign investors for multi-million-dollar homes, right? And let's see here. Look, so this house here for sale. I think the house ended up selling for this regular, just old house here ended up selling for, I think, $2.6 million in, you know, and you break it down and you start to see these streets all empty. And I'm trying to wake people up years ago, waking people up to the fact that we've been sold out to the highest bidder. Absolutely empty streets everywhere, nobody around. Not even not even a dog or anything rolling down the street, nothing. Yeah, just empty parked cars. And you're probably wondering, Mike, look at all the parked cars where there are. There's got to be people. No, people park their cars here and then they walk to the SkyTrain to go downtown. So they don't have to pay for parking downtown. So we've been doing this for many years. We are a pre-COVID channel. We've been warning people 6 years ago. Look at this. Holy crap. Look at this. Look at this. 6 years ago, Toronto's real estate market out of control. My opinion, by the end of 2019, you will see families leave the big cities across the Commonwealth. It's unaffordable. Wages are not tied to housing anymore. Look at that. 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So we are a pre-COVID channel and we're proud. There's all these heroes that came out after COVID and became these big deals after COVID. Big deals after COVID. But what about the people warning the people about this? Oh, but you didn't warn us about the... Oh, yes, I did. There's the video up there from 2019, and I said it in 2017, and I said it in 2018. They're going to pull the trigger on the pandemic, and it's up there. It's on YouTube. You can see it. So there it is right there. So, no, I've been having quite a few people... So there's, Heisa says in the comments, folks, don't forget to check him out. Lack of home ownership will drive people left. I think Thailand and Dubai are the best at the moment. Until those countries become destabilized, right? Where can you go that's not going to become destabilized, right? They're working hard to destabilize America and destroy its constitution and destroy everything. Their Bill of Rights and everything. They're working hard to destabilize Canada. They're working really hard to destabilize Canada, right? And this is the problem we're facing here. We're facing major problems here. And where can you go that's not going to be destabilized, right? And that's the problem that we are facing here, right? And I love playing. So people say, yeah, Mike, but you're the countries you say you were going to go live in with your family if it wasn't destabilized. Well, you know, where are you going to go? Here, I'd go to Portuguese Africa. And here it is. And this is what they took from us. They took this away from us. They took this away from us. We built these grand cities all over Africa, and they just took it away from us. And that's where my aunts, I still have a great aunt, a couple of cousins. I got actually quite a few cousins that still live in Mozambique, right? And this is before the destabilization right here. This is before we were destabilized. We had infrastructure, we had exports, we had imports, we had a massive natural gas facility, one of the biggest in the world. The Portuguese had everything. And there it is, Lorenz Marx, 1970. But they took it away from us. They didn't want the Portuguese with a gold-backed currency to run things. So they took everything, and Christianity we spread everywhere. And they basically took this away from us. So when people tell me, oh, Mike, you know, you're lucky to be in Canada. No, I want to be with my people. I want to be living with my culture. I don't want to be here and then be told to go back to my country or tell me, you know, like I'm spreading misinformation and that. I'm trying to keep this that you see here in Canada. We kind of have this now still in Canada, but we're going to lose this all because all of this here is gone in Portuguese Africa. All of this is gone. We lost it all. Do you understand? Because we had a gold-backed currency and the WEF or whatever the hell they were called back in the day did not want us to have anything. They didn't want rivalry. They didn't want competition. So what do? They give all these countries loans and force them to pay it back with interest they can't afford to, and then they go and rape the resources, cutting out the Portuguese that was there for 500 years, not 5 weeks like the French in French Africa. Anyways, guys, we're running out of time here on this Mike in the Night. I'm going to give you guys the link here to tonight's show on Odyssey. We're going to switch over to Odyssey. We're the after party on Odyssey, guys, on Mike in the Night, the after party. And we are going to be live. Why is it saying live in live in 3 minutes? So, guys, I got to get over there. So I will see you guys. And if you guys want to donate to me, I'm going to give you the donor box link if you guys want to support me on there. I would really appreciate some support, guys. Copy. There it is. If you want to donate, I turned off the super chat because they're not paying me. So there it is right there, guys. I'll see you on the next party. I'm going to move over right now. Mike Martin's here for the pre-party episode 400.